What's up, beautiful world? This is TNA, Top Notch Audio, and welcome to another episode of r/Petty Revenge. Our first story will be Park Over the Line, Good Luck Getting in Your Car. And then, Landlord asks for more rent. I ask him to fix things first, knowing he won't fix them. Followed by, People Won't Break Down Their Boxes. And next will be Candy Bandits. And finally, Talk Spit, Now You're Gonna Spit. If this is your first time listening, remember to hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner. If this is not your first time, welcome back. Enjoy the stories of r/Petty Revenge. And this r/Petty Revenge story is posted by u/HYGGE has. Park Over the Line, Good Luck Getting in Your Car. I work in an office park, and every day I'm one of the first cars to arrive to my building, and every day I park in the same spot. It's one that I pull through and is next to a median that has a pipe that's about 3 feet tall, and if I open my car door as far as it will go, it will likely hit the pipe. However, I am small enough that I never need to open my car door all the way. Oftentimes, this huge SUV will park next to me. He's often there first, and sometimes he's even in my spot. My office building contains the fitness center for the entire office park, so people in other buildings will sometimes be parked here before work. I say all this because I'm not positive this SUV guy works in my building or if he just uses the fitness center. Well, the other day, I went to pull in my spot and the SUV is parked over my line, meaning I'll have very little space to open my car door. At first, I parked close to the median so he'd have room to get in his car. His driver's side was next to my passenger side. Then I decided to back it up and pull as close as I could to the line while still remaining well within the boundaries of my own spot, making it virtually impossible for him to enter his car from the driver's side. And this next r/Petty Revenge story is posted by u/RadioheadFan1991. Landlord asks for more rent. I ask him to fix things first, knowing he won't fix them. So I've been living in this house share on a rolling contract for over 2 years. The house is very run down, but nothing is dangerous or inhabitable or depressing. The landlord is really bad at fixing stuff, and when he does, he turns up unannounced against the law here and does a really botched job. Last September, the landlord was clearly feeling well motivated as he announced he was going to renovate the kitchen. The old kitchen had cupboards without doors, a really cheap old oven that used to break all the time, really shabby workshops, etc. My best guess was it was at least 20 years old. He said the renovations would be done quickly as possible. He quoted a week to us, but it actually went on for 2 months, and he broke some laws because he disconnected the oven for several days while there were tenants living in the house. While the kitchen looks fine now, it was clearly a case of get in and out and do the bare minimum as cheap as possible. He also painted some of the communal areas really badly. He put 2 new to the property, actually secondhand, fridge and freezers in, and they didn't work very well, so he ended up trying to fix them himself, and long story short, I lost all my food in the freezer last December. So by the end of it all, I was feeling very annoyed with them. In January 2020, the landlord sent all the tenants an email telling us he had to put the rent up and that we would have to sign new contracts. My rent was only going up by £25 per month as I have my own ensuite bathroom, which is pretty much falling apart. But he didn't renovate it, and I could afford the increase, so didn't bother to argue it. I emailed him back and said it was fine, but there were a few issues in my room that I'd like him to fix, but that I was happy for that to be written into the contract with a time frame for the work to be done agreed by us both, so he could get the higher rent rate straight away. I sent him a list of the things, and most of them are really minor, like wardrobe door handle needs replacing, there's a crack in the sink. The biggest thing on the list was a problem he's known about for at least 2 years, the shower leaks. I knew full well that he wouldn't get around to doing any of the repairs. He told me that I didn't need to sign the contract or pay higher rent until he fixed the things in my room. I said okay, and have never mentioned any of it to him ever again. The things I asked him to fix aren't exactly impeding my enjoyment of life, so I don't even get annoyed about the fact that they're broken. 10 months later, I'm still paying my original rent rate, and every month I save the amount my rent would have gone up by. It's a really small, pathetic thing to do, but it makes me proud every time my rent is due because I'm 250 pounds better off and counting. Edit. Just to clarify that I am renting a furnished room, so all the furniture, including the wardrobe, which is built in, belongs to the landlord and is his responsibility. Most of it is incredibly old and shabby. One of my housemates has a chest of drawers with a drawer completely missing and another one that's falling off the runner. Landlord is 100% responsible for the furniture as well as fixtures and fittings in the house, unless it's deliberate damage. If it is deliberate damage, it was done by a previous tenant and therefore not my problem. And this story is posted by you/thugwifey. People won't break down their boxes. I live in a large apartment building and every floor has one trash room. There are signs everywhere that say to please break down your box and throw it down the trash chute. Well, especially since COVID hit with people doing more online shopping, the trash room has been overflowing with unbroken boxes. There are residents that apparently believe the maintenance workers should break it down for them. I find this extremely rude, especially during COVID times. Many of those residents don't bother to at least black out or rip off their address, which show which apartment it came from. So I do them a favor and bring their box back to their apartment with a little friendly reminder note to break down their spit. And this next story is posted by you/Filtman, Candy Bandits. Back a few years ago, I worked maintenance for a county in Mississippi. We had a cleaning crew come in 3 nights a week and clean our buildings. Our secretary kept a candy canister on her desk that we, much of the staff at the building, would raid, always buying her more. The cleaning crew decided they had a right to come in at night and eat all the girls' candy, never buying more. She and we complained to their boss, but her candy kept on going missing, so we got revenge. One day on our lunch break, we sat up and wrapped a whole box of X-Lax in the pretty paper that the candy came in. Sure enough, the next morning, all of the candy and the X-Lax were gone. That Friday, the owners came in to clean our building, saying the whole crew had called in sick. After that, we could leave a lobster dinner out and nobody bothered it. And this next r/petty revenge story is posted by you/X and Radora. Talk spit? Now you're gonna spit. So, early this year, I moved in with my best friend, L, and his stepfather, Matt. Me and my best friend have had problems with Matt from day one. Matt throws our stuff away, blames anything missing on L and I, even when our stuff goes missing. The items always get found, Matt won't apologize, and will repeatedly tell us not to touch their items. Matt also has a problem with grabbing my face despite me yelling. I'm basically screaming, "No me toques," at him to not touch me. Well, Matt's friend, Paul, moved in after our 4th roommate went back to Mexico to have her baby. Paul made Matt clean the entire house because it was dirty. Elle and I had done our cleaning, so all they did downstairs was the fridge. Matt blamed his popsicle exploding in the freezer on us. Next morning, our bowls for work disappear, and Matt tells us that Paul threw them away. Matt starts talking more and more spit with and to Paul about how Elle and I are dirty and lazy. Paul will occasionally yell at him that it's not us, it's Matt. The other day, I left to go to my BF's house, and as I leave, Matt reaches out and grabs me and I start yelling. Well, he just laughs and talks to Paul, who's looking between us with wide eyes. I yell again, and Matt continued to laugh. The more I yell, the more he laughs. So I left. After this, I was done. So every weekend, Matt makes a big pot of soup. I took a small bottle of laxative and emptied it in the pot, stirred it up, and added some salt. Me and Elle made sure to spend as much time in the bathroom as possible. Then once Matt got in there, we steered clear. He's still eating the soup. To summarize, Matt will grab me without permission and throw away mine and my best friend's stuff. After me telling him several times to stop and trying to talk to him about it, I say try because he always walks away. I put a bottle of laxative in his food after he grabbed my butt. Those were 5 great stories. To hear the best stories of the week, click on the video in the top left-hand corner. To hear more Reddit stories all related to what you just heard, click on the video in the top right-hand corner. If you have not already done so, click on the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. Once again, this is TNA Top Notch Audio. Thank you for listening and have yourself a great day.